Hey YouTube, Kira Qualia here, bringing you guys my Cardfight Vanguard Tsukuyomi deck profile for October 2017. I've been wanting support for the Tsukuyomi deck for a very long time now, and I'm very happy that we got new support to make this deck stand on its own. It doesn't need any of the old support from decks like Susanoo, Scarlet Witch Coco, or any of the other OTT mixed in for it to make it a deck. You can now rely solely on Tsukuyomi cards, which I think is really, really cool. We haven't had Tsukuyomi support since set 5 launched, and that was a good while ago. We've had at least 7 sets since then. So I thought I'd bring you guys the deck profile with all the new support. So let's go ahead and get started. For starters, I run 4 Moon Deity, who governs the night, Tsukuyomi. She is an unflip effect, and you place a unit with Tsukuyomi and its card name from your hand into your soul. You check the top 5 cards of your deck, add 2 of them from your deck to your hand, place the rest on your bottom of your deck in any order. So she helps filter through the deck, grabbing needed cards that you might possibly need for later moves, and also sets up your stack, which is the main point of the Tsukuyomi deck. So she basically helps it so you can get your trigger lineup that you hopefully set up early in the game using the Tsukuyomi ride chain, just advancing it further and even further by having the triple drive option to go with. So your main Tsukuyomi stride of the deck. I don't have any Ikotsune, which is the new stride from set 12, which makes G-guarding not a thing when she attacks. But I will show what I'd run for her after I get through the stride zone I have. I will run 4 Dragon Destroyer Battle Deity, Kamui Susanoo. This card is an unflipped card, and it gains the effect of when it hits, you check the top 2 cards of your deck, add 1 to your hand, put the rest on the bottom of the deck, and a GB3 giving plus 2,000 power to all your units. Good pressure, he's just an unflip, and like Tsukuyomi, he doesn't take up a counterblast, which means you can save your counterblast for other more important effects in the deck. And also 2 Lord of Guidance, Wakahirume. This is your Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1 Oracle effect. You draw a card, place a card from your hand on top of the deck. So basically you can put back heal triggers, criticals, reuse triggers that are already in your hand with this card for more important effects in the deck. And also 1 State Affair Subjugation Deity, Kamui Susanoo. This card is a Counterblast 2. When this unit is placed on Vanguard, you draw until you have 5 cards. So he helps achieve the Oracle effect, and the Oracle effect is he gets plus 5 in a crit. So Vanguard pressure on its own with an extra crit ability. We've wanted one of these for OTT for a very long time now, so he definitely helps with the deck. And for the G-Guardians, I run 2 Son of Eternity, Amaterasu. This card is your G-Guardian, which has the Soul Charge effect, where you look at the top card of your deck and place it either on the top or bottom. And it also has a plus 10 shield if you have 4 more cards in your hand, so pretty easy requirements to be met there as well. And also 2 Sunrise on High, Godhawk Ichibiyoshi, just your standard G-Guardian to run with the deck. And 1 Persevering, 1 Low Genji Magus Apex. This card is your one that works with the heal triggers for the Counterblast effect, allowing you to look at the top 2 cards of the deck, put 1 of the cards into your hand, and put the other one on the top or bottom of the deck. So a good setup as well, and it also needs that requirement of a G-Guardian flip to use, so just take that into consideration. As for Ikotsune, if I had her, I'd probably take out either all 4 of the Kamui Susanoo, since you just have better play options to go for, or go these 2 and possibly the 2 Wakahirume. It all really depends. You could even move 2 of the Tsukuyomi if you want, but that's all down to the preference of the player if you did want to fully run 4 Ikotsune Heine. She is really good, so I would recommend that. And then for the main deck, I run 4 Goddess of the Full Moon Tsukuyomi. This is your main grade 3 of the deck, your main part of the ride chain as well. So she has a Counterblast 2 if you have 6 or more Oracle Think Tank cards in your soul. You draw 2 cards, choose 1 card from your hand, put it into your soul, and obviously you have to have the proper ride chain to make her an 11k. But what I like about this card compared to other ride chains is that she doesn't have the 10k base when you ride over her. Since she already has the 11k base, she has the minus requirement if you don't have the proper ride chain in the soul. So that means if you don't have the proper soul and you stride over her, she'll still have the 26k power. So I find that very good compared to the fact that a normal ride chain would just have the 25k if you rode over it. And also 3 of the new Miko of the Morning Moon, Haruzuki. This card I really like for the fact that it is a discard for cost of stride effect. If you discard her for cost of stride, you basically draw a card, so it makes up for your stride cost. Choose one of your noble units, it gets plus 5,000, and Vanguard rearguard effect. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, choose a grade 3 unit from your drop zone and return it to your hand. So you can even bounce back a Tsukuyomi card if need be to use its effects of putting in the soul for the Tsukuyomi stride. Really, really cool with that requirement. Just an overall good card to have as that grade 3 backup. And for grade 2s, I run 4 Goddess of the Half Moon, Tsukuyomi, your grade 2 of the ride chain. She also sets up your soul charge too when you properly ride her, and you have Crescent Moon and Ichibiyoshi in the soul. So just remember that when you use her, she has that potential power, so you always want to have her as your grade 2 ride target. And 4 Miko of the Daybreak Moon, Akizuki. This is your really good grade 2 that helps with the grade 1 ride target. You can discard her and ride a Crescent Moon from your deck. If you have God Haki Ichibiyoshi on your Vanguard, you ride Crescent Moon, ride a stand, shuffle your deck. So you have greater options for hitting your grade 1 ride target, which was the biggest weakness of this deck. And I saw that other decks were getting this kind of support where you would discard the grade 2 for the grade 1 search. So I'm really happy that Tsukuyomi got this. It just makes up for the deck so much, because your grade 1 ride is the most important ride of this deck. Because if you don't ride that, it really messes up the rest of the deck for its ride chain, since you won't get the top 5 search that you do with each of the ride chain targets each turn. And to finish up the grade 2s, I run 3 Shrewd Concierge. This is your rearguard pressure power for an effect, and also this card has a draw effect for Soul Blast 1 once per turn. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard Tsukuyomi on the rearguard, it gains this effect. You check the top card of your deck, put it on the top or bottom, and this unit gets plus 2,000, making it 11k on its own, which is really cool. But for Shrewd Concierge, it has the same pressure, but you don't need a grade 3. It just has a counterblast if you have a Tsukuyomi Vanguard. If you do, draw 2 cards, choose a card from your hand, put it into your soul. So easier soul setup as well with this card, and the plus 2,000 power just by having a Tsukuyomi Vanguard makes it an 11k attacker on its own as well. Now Silent Tom isn't as needed anymore since you have more guard restriction power off of Vanguard attacks with the new Ikotsune unit, which just really helps the deck overall. And for grade 1s, I run 4 Goddess of the Crescent Moon, Tsukuyomi. This card is your grade 1 ride target, obviously. No extra additional soul charge effects with this unit, just the check top 5 effect, pretty standard for the ride chain. Checking top 5 for your ride chain just helps with that consistency. And like I said, since you can search her with the grade 2, just makes it all the more easy to get off your ride chain successfully. And 4 perfect guards. Amano Sagiri is my perfect guard of choice with this deck, just for counter charge, since you can at times counter charge pretty heavy with your effects, which we'll get to, including Virtuoso Housekeeper, which I run 4 of. She just helps in additionally by checking the top 5 and assisting with our stack for this deck by grabbing a Tsukuyomi card and putting the rest on the bottom of the deck in any order. Good boost target as well. Can't go wrong with her in that situation. And lastly, for the grade 1s, 2 Divine Sword, Amino Murakumo. I run 2 of this card basically because most of the time I want my proper stride cost to be Harazuki, just because of her amazing effect that you get off when you do discard for her. But I still like having that additional option for a stride cost with this card. And with cards like Virtuoso Housekeeper, you just, have more chances to grab ride targets and stride targets with her, including grabbing a grade 3 Tsukuyomi, which you can use for stride costs if need be for emergency. And then for grade 0s, I run 1 God Haki Ichibiyoshi. Obviously, this is the starter of the deck that you use. Has the same top 5 search effect like the other Tsukuyomi cards, so definitely need this as your starter, obviously. And what I like I said, with the grade 2, you can just ride right on top of this with Tsukuyomi. The one thing, if I do remember correctly, with this card, you shuffle your deck, so it does ruin this, basically the stack for the first part of the deck, but it doesn't really matter because if you don't get off your ride chain, you're not going to even have a stack to worry about with the deck, which is the main play of the deck. And for triggers, I run 4 Assault Dive Eagle, the first crit in the lineup, and also 4 Psychic Bird. It just has that put into soul, draw a card effect, which can help you at times just reach your potential stack that you set, including crits and heals that you want to get to. And 4 Oracle Guardian Nike. Now I like the 12 crits in the deck just for that pressure hit or win a game, basically, with your stack being 3 crits. If your opponent doesn't see it coming, like you did, this can really kill them for that game. And lastly, 4 Lozenji Magus Fine. If you want to run the original Lozenji Magus, you can do that just as well if you want that recycle effect. I just have her in here for the draw card, and if you use Tsukuyomi's putback effect, it will mess up your stack, so just remember that when you're taking the shuffle back effect for the original Tsukuyomi as the effect you want to go for in this deck. But yeah, that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Once again, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and until next time, Kira Qualia out.